Hey everyone, I'm Erica Becker, your host of the GC360 podcast, recorded right here at the Garden City, New York Media Studio. And on this show, we talk about a variety of topics, and we have some of the most interesting and influential people in the community on our show. So today, I am very much looking forward to hearing the story of this young lady we have with us. I have with me today Aly Luciani. She is the owner and founder of Hair by Aly Cat, which she's a hairstylist and she's a curl and color expert, which is very interesting and very cool. So, Aly, thank you so much for being on the show with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I am too. I'm so excited that you're here. So many questions, but off the bat, curl and color expert.
Yes.
How did that come about? I mean, you have, is your hair naturally curly?
And this is like the first time where I don't have anything but color in my hair, because growing up it was a lot coarser and a lot more coilier. So it was just a little bit more unmanageable for my mom, so especially with the products that we had growing up. So I always either had a relaxer, like either the at-home ones or the kid ones or the ones that actually were in the salons. And then last one that I ever had was a keratin, and that didn't do anything. So then I just did color with my hair, and then I cut my hair really short into almost a shaven pixie during lockdown. So it went really short, so I'm actually growing it out. So that's why I have this cute little fro going on.
Cool.
So this is the first time where I actually know what my curl pattern is, and it's been very fun. But I've even since high school, because that's where I actually did all my cosmetology and stuff like that, because my school had a course. So I always made sure to understand and know like every single type of hair type, as well as not be scared of it. Because honestly, with curls, as long as it's hydrated, it's not scary. It really isn't. So, and also with color, I've always had an art background. Like I always had my hands in either paint or mixing or anything like that had to do with color theory. So it's nice when they go hand in hand with each other. Plus, too, it's more so like with curls, it's like sculpting. Because I cut everybody, but with curls, you really have to form that nice shape, or else you end up with a mullet, and that's not cute.
Yeah.
Unless you're going for that, which is they have cute curly mullets. But if it's intentional, then
right.
It's fine. then it's beautiful. But when it's not, it's a little questionable.
Yeah. So I'm sure that many of I have a couple friends with super curly hair, and it's a challenge.
Exactly.
And so being an expert on it, I'm sure you give a lot of relief.
Oh, exactly. Especially too, there's always like a misconception that if you have curls or any type of coil, that color is going to be dangerous with the hair, or it's going to be too stressful for it. It always comes down to the stylist, and as well as like your hair history, of course. But if everyone is open and honest with communication and at least like knows what everyone is going through with the hair care and stuff like that, then it's not scary per se. Always go low and slow, and then this way you can still achieve. And if it's not doable, then you don't do it.
Yeah.
And then you just say no and you move on.
Cool. So let's talk about a little bit about your history and your studies. So high school, you studied.
Yeah, so I grew up in a town called Franklin Square, and my high school itself was Cary, and then I had to go to Salonica, which was the neighboring school, for the last 2 years of my high school. So the first year was just like styling, learning like all the basic stuff. And then my second year was all like color and like prepping for state board and stuff like that. But I got lucky kind of, because my teacher was fresh out the boat from BOCES. So she didn't really know how to work in a high school. So luckily, I kind of got to do what I wanted color-wise, because she knew that I would do all my work first, and then I would do what I needed to do in terms of understanding how to make mud, how to fix mud, how to not do mud. So that's kind of how I was slowly perfecting the color theory on the end of the color realm.
Cool.
and styling.
Yeah, I'm sure that people probably don't even think about how color theory is a huge part of your career.
Exactly. Even with everything too, like you see it now with the videos of like the people who like do the dressings and stuff like that. They'll put all the layers of fabric to see what tones best fit the face. Same thing with makeup. It's all about the undertones and the color theory. It all works together. So you really have to understand that. That's why like even when people, like some of my clients, they'll do stuff at home, I will try to help them as best as I can to even understand what's going to contradict each other. So at least like if I'm not with them, they at least know something, so I don't have to get scared next time I see them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to force people to come when they can't, but at least they have knowledge to do their own stuff with not looking muddy.
Yeah. So do you get, whenever you get clients that come in. I know that you're very passionate about having everybody feel very comfortable being themselves, and you're obviously not afraid of more fun, colorful styling.
Absolutely.
So whenever you get someone come in and they want to do a color with their hair, and you know that it's not going to look necessarily the way that they want, how do you advise them? Do you advise them, against things? How do you approach that?
So I never tell someone no unless their hair physically cannot handle a certain service. What I'll do is I'll alter it to make sure it, one, fits their complexion, make sure it fits their style, and also fits their maintenance. Because if I'm doing something where you're going to have to come back every 4 weeks and you're someone who comes back every 3 to 6 months, that's a problem. So it's like that's why we like to say inspirations versus absolutes, because you can't, unless you're going to that stylist where that picture came from, you can't guarantee it's going to look 100%. Plus, your hair is not the same as the person in the photo. You don't know if it's edited. You don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
So it's you have to alter it to fit the client. So it's if face shape wise, a short bob ain't gonna do it for them, maybe do a soft A-line, so this way they can get some shortness in the back but not necessarily lose the length in the front. You can always alter things so it doesn't make someone feel, because if you don't do it, someone else is gonna do it and they're gonna learn the hard way. So at least if you can modify it to fit their style, then that's fine. But the only time you're gonna get a no from me is if your hair physically cannot handle it or it's too short to do anything with. That's the only time I'm saying no.
Right. That's very smart approach, I think, on your end, because you're thinking about their well-being too. You know what's gonna
exactly, especially too. A lot of my clients, they're very go with the flow, easygoing, and if they do their hair, they want it to be versatile. If you're styling your hair 50% of the time and it's not curly, I'm not going to give you a really dictated curly cut where you're now forced to wear it, or because depending on some of them, the ends of them are hollow, so you can look a little shallowy. So it really depends.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I have so many more questions for you about this topic. Can't wait to dive deeper into it. We are going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back after these messages.
My father never stops moving, but after he had a brain aneurysm, he had a difficult time getting back to his normal routine. That's when I called Alliance Services. They paired him with Rosa. She developed a custom home care plan that helped him with his recovery.
Rosa helped me gain my independence back.
Alliance Services, helping older adults continue to live well and independent.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the GC360 podcast. I'm your host, Erica, and today I have with me our lovely and creative guest, Aly, and she's a curl and color expert if you're just now joining us. We were just getting into the science behind color and cutting hair for curly hair, and also you cut other hair too.
Absolutely. When it comes to my cutting style, I don't try to say it's set for one thing, unless I'm literally cutting your coils one by one and stuff like that. But a lot of my clients, when they get in my chair, I cut a lot of people dry first, and it surprises people. They get nervous. They're are you sure you don't cut me wet? No, I need to, one, see your shape. And then two, if the hair has an uneven porosity, if I fill it with water, the porosity is now even. So I'm not going to really be able to see where your weak points are. So at least if I can get my hands through it, you're being cut dry. Or if you have two different textures going on, if your roots are curly and your ends are pressed, then I'm going to have to wet you or something to kind of get a little something back in there to even out the pattern. Or if you really have a grown out relaxer or a grown out keratin, or there's a distinct different, then I'm gonna have to blow you out first and then cut you. But for the most part, you are being cut dry unless you're a pixie, because then I need that to stick it down your neck.
Fascinating. so much knowledge about it. It's fascinating to me. So you recently, congratulations are in order, because you recently opened up your own shop.
Yes.
So you're not working for anyone else anymore. You're working for yourself.
No, I am a lone wolf, which is nice.
What is that like?
It's been a nice sense of relief, I will say, because now I am free to do what I want. Like I don't have to say no anymore, or like I don't have restrictions, because I'm a severe workaholic. Like if you come in and I have space, I am doing your hair. I don't care if it's like 5 a.m. or like 10 o'clock at night. That's just how I am. I got that from my parents. So it's nice that I have that flexibility. Plus too, it's a nice safe space. Like I have a curtain on my door. It's a nice purple one. My whole room is purple because I love purple so much. So it's a nice soft gradient. But I really like to make sure that anyone and everyone can come into my space and not feel judged or feel like they're gonna hear some nonsense in the background or be overwhelmed or be overstimulated. Like I like there to be like a nice calming space, especially like with people who just have anything that needs to be privatized.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And what inspired you to get into this business in the first place?
Tabitha Coffee. That woman has my heart. I love that woman so much. I will, like, even talking about her, like, I will cry if I ever meet her. Because, like, I grew up watching Tabitha Takeover. It was a show on Bravo. It's wonderful. I've been trying to find it. I can't find any videos except for, like, 2 of them on YouTube. Anyway, so her style of professionalism, as well as just, like, her mannerisms, like, it's really refreshing. And it just really focuses on the client. Like, we matter, but at the end of the day, like, our stuff is at the door. Like, you guys are our priority. Of course, when we have to, like, do stuff that's authoritative, then that's fine. But for the most part, like, it's really about, like, you guys. And I like that. I like the fact that I can make everyone feel good and feel comfortable and not have to worry that, like, they're not going to feel their best when they leave.
Yeah, that's great. Have you always been artistic?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I actually had the option in high school to either go into AP Art or to take the cosmetology program. But the program for the art stuff was very monotonous, and it was boring as all ever, because it's just the same shading, the same figure drawing, like, or you're replicating some other type of painting that's already been done or some nonsense. So it wasn't as freeing. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take the chance. And I was on a waiting list. So I had to write the AP principal, and I got in, but I was kept a secret from because my mom wanted me to find out on my sweet 16 birthday over there.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's great. But I was harassing my poor guidance counselor every day, asking, did I get in? And she was like, no. When I did, she just couldn't tell me. So afterwards, I was like, I'm so sorry for coming in all the time. She's like, no, it's fine. But it was a really nice sense of relief, because I also didn't have a backup plan. So it was just like either this or a starving artist. And that don't look good on me. So it would be nice.
Yeah. Well, so you basically, your entire life, this has been a lifelong dream.
Exactly. Like, even like my long-term goal, like, I want to be an educator. I would like to be a platform artist at one of the shows. Like, that's what I would love to do. I like educating people. Like, even like when you're in my chair, your like integrity and knowledge is like the first thing you're getting, because I can make your hair look good, but if you have no idea how to do it at home or sustain it at home, then there's no point and you're wasting money.
Yeah, definitely. So when you say an educator on a platform, what
so we
sense?
have so in our industry we have a few awards shows. One of them is Behind the Chair. One of them is, I believe, the Beauty Awards. There's a few of them, and then also we have IBS, which is the International Beauty Show. That's over at the Javits Center. They different brands will have different artists come on their platform and provide education, show the models, show the different types of products that the brands may have, launching and stuff like that, or going over things they already have, or like separate individual like hands-on classes. So stuff like that I would really love, or even just being like a brand rep, like that would be really wonderful.
Cool. So that's your long-term goal.
Exactly, like if that like that would be really nice. Like that's eventually what, because I would love to do hair, but I eventually want that to be the main focus later on in life, is to do hair, but also to be a rep for a brand that I find one fits with my ideals and stuff like that, as well as like really has good products as well.
Cool. I'm sure you can definitely accomplish that. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm sure you have used tons of products.
Oh, exactly.
With what you do.
So, especially with all like the curl lines. Like there's a brand that I love, it's called Curlsmith and Mazzani. If I can like ever be a rep for them, that would be amazing, because their products are truly good for the hair, as well as they really focus on like equality and stuff like that, which is really nice.
Cool. So opening up your own business, that's quite a feat and inspirational. What has been the most challenging part about being on your own?
I would say it's a toss-up between the branding aspect, like making sure that I can get my name out there and stuff like that, because I have social media and stuff like that, which is good, but I want to try to like do bigger stuff, and also I want to eventually work with like either charities or like volunteer stuff. Like I really want to get involved with that as well, but I lost the train of thought.
Yeah, the most challenging.
Oh, thank you. Yes. As well as like the prices, because like I'm on my own. If I am a very warm-hearted person, I will give breaks as much as I can physically do. But if my prices are a set price, I cannot lower them a certain way. So that, just getting across that, especially with me being on my own, because I provide for myself,
right?
Then it's a little challenging with a color service to mark it down lower. I can give you a deal on cutting like that. If you're really a hardship and you need your hair done, I'll do that. That's fine. But if it's anything to do with color or that's gonna take up a lot of product, I can't lower. Exactly. Like I can lower by like a smidge. But if you're asking for a whole lot, that's a little questionable.
Totally. And what is your favorite part about what you do? What's the best thing about your job?
Honestly, connecting with people, because like I love the relationships that I have with a lot of my clients. Like, we still have like the professional aspect of our relationship where like once they're in my chair, like when they leave, like this is still a business transaction, like it's still a business. But the fact that like a lot of them like feel comfortable enough to like open up and share and just have that connection, like it warms my heart. It's really nice. Like I feel like when they leave, like a lot of their stress is taken off, like they're happier than when they came in, or at least they like were able to vent. It's a really nice feeling.
Yeah. It's almost like they have a joke about bartenders being therapists.
Exactly, same with us.
Like hairdresser.
Exactly, and I will say a lot of the time some do overshare, but I rather you overshare than harbor it and just sit there all tensed up, because I can feel when something's going on.
Sure.
So it's like I would rather you have a calming experience, and if that means turning off your phone and venting about whatever is bothering you, then that's fine. That's what I'm here for. Just make sure you let it all out. So this way I have a dream catcher, so if there's any negative, it's going to catch it. You're fine. So I really like making sure that everyone leaves happy and saner than when they came in.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's because you're not just providing a hair cutting service, you're providing an experience.
Exactly, and that's what I really like now that I'm on my own, that I can provide a better experience, because I worked in a corporation, so it wasn't a bad corporation. It was too open. It was a retail. So sometimes the people on the floor, they didn't really respect the people getting the services. So it couldn't have that same, especially for the prices I charge. Like I want them to feel like it's worth it. I don't want them to feel like, oh, I'm paying this much, but the experience is not up to par. Even if I love the stylist, I don't like where I'm going. So it's like I don't want them to feel like that anymore. It's nice that they won't. Like the main complaint that I've had was like the opening, but that's the landlord, not my fault.
Yeah,
it's the landlord.
Yeah, definitely. So, coming up with the name for your business, it's so clever. How did you come up with Hair by Alley Cat?
So my aunt actually calls me Alley Cat. Ever since I was a kid, like every time she sees me, she calls me Alley Cat. And it's also the easiest way to people to find out how to spell my name, which is nice because it's right in my title. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about someone mispronouncing it or doing anything. But it's cute. Plus, too, it's a fun little nickname that I've always had. So
yeah, it's unique.
Thank you.
Makes you stand out. Yeah, it's great. And so also with your own business, you have expressed that it's important to you to make your clients feel very safe, not judged, Is there a inspiration or reason that makes you so passionate about that?
So I'm actually I'm a Jewish and queer woman. So making sure that I can make sure my community feels safe, as well as people who wear a headdress, wear wigs of any religion or any sort, can come in and feel like they don't have to worry about harassment or judgmental comments or just stares, or feeling like they're gonna be bothered or bothering other people. It's just I really want to make sure that I'm a safe space for people, so they don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, that's imperative to know, and I'm sure that's a very important aspect for many many people. So it's great that you are that way with everybody. I'm so glad. And I have so enjoyed hearing your story and hearing about what inspires you, and you clearly know a lot about what you do. So I
try. I said I try. I have a lot more to learn, which is nice. That's one of the best things with our industry. It's like you have to keep learning, or else you get stuck.
Always. And that's great to know that you are very open to that too. I want everyone to know who's listening where you're located and how they can get a hold of you and how they can book an appointment with you.
Yes.
So why don't you let everyone know?
Hello. So I work up in Garden City. The address is 650 Stewart Ave in Garden City. It's in the Stewart Plaza. The building is called Phoenix Salon Suites. My suite is 143. We do have a lockbox, and my name is on the pillar that it has. So you can always just type it in, or you can visit my Instagram at Hair by Aly Cat, all one word, ALYCATT. And then the booking app that I have is on the app or the website, Vagaro. Still Hair by Aly Cat. Everything is the same name. And then if we have any comments, questions, concerns, my phone number is 516-492-4062. That is my business phone number, so you can contact me for anything.
Great. Well, Aly, you're one of the most open and wonderful people. I'm sure that you're going to get a lot of people coming your way for your service. A lot of people need it. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come be on the show with me. I've really enjoyed speaking with you. To our audience, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the GC360 podcast. I'm your host, Erica Becker, and we will see you next time.